Welcome back to the workshop. I'm Simon. Now if you watch these videos regularly, you'll know that I also have a keen interest in astronomy. So today I'm going to be making a case for my solar filter. Let's get tinkering. Now this is going to be a pretty simple build. All I need is this offcut of 3x2 CLS timber and a sheet of hardboard, which is the back of an old cupboard. The first thing I'm going to do is tidy up this piece of CLS and then cut it into strips. I want all the strips to be the same width, so I'm using my thin strip push block along with my thin strip jig to ensure that I get them the right length and I can cut this safely. I can now cut them all to length using the sliding table. Using a stop block on the sliding table, I cut a 45-degree angle on all of the ends. The box will have a sliding lid, so I need to cut a groove in the side pieces. I nudge the fence over and then make another pass to widen the groove. Finally, I cut through one of the pieces. Well, I wasn't expecting that, but I wasn't standing behind the blade, so no harm was done. In hindsight, I should have been using the riving knife, which would have prevented the kickback. I give all the surfaces a sand. I trim the hardboard to size using a table saw. I'm using an auxiliary fence so that the hardboard doesn't slip underneath the stock fence. I do a dry fit before gluing everything up and clamping it with my homemade band clamps. I now cut the lid to the right dimensions. It's been a couple of hours, so I think I'm okay to undo the clamps and continue with the build. I mark up where the last part of the frame will go and then glue it in position. I glued the back on off camera. And now it's time for some sanding. There's a little imperfection here I thought I would just share with you. When this closes, this is perfectly flat on the frame, but here there's about 0.5 millimetre gap. So I just need to either sand this down so it's the same height as this piece, or what I'm probably going to try and do is plane it because I think it'd be quicker. This is my dad's old plane which I completely restored. If you've got an old plane that you'd like to restore, then have a look in the description for my video on it. And at this point you're probably thinking, why didn't he recess the base in the same way that I recessed the lid? And the answer is actually quite simple. The wood isn't thick enough, and I wouldn't have been able to put the thing that I want to put in here into the case. So it had to go on the back like this. Now if you're thinking, well, why didn't I just use a thicker piece of wood? Then that comes down to me changing the design halfway through. I was originally going to just have one end hinge open rather than having the whole top slide off, but I decided I'd make the top slide off. It was only once I'd made that I realised that I no longer had the depth. And this is one of the perils of making stuff without any plans and doing it all in your head. Before varnishing everything, I give everything a quick going over with the tack cloth. I'm not really bothered about the finish on this, but I decided to use a little bit of tung oil. If anyone knows the difference between furniture oil, tung oil and Danish oil, I'd love to know, because I don't really know what applications I should be using for each one. To me they all seem quite similar, but I'm sure there is actually a reason for there being 3 different oils. So if you do know, please leave a comment below to enlighten me. Thanks. I wonder if anyone's still watching, or if I could get away with only doing the first half of videos. It would make them quicker to produce. If you are, leave a comment below so that I know to continue to make the video to the end. Thanks. Well, this turned out really great. If I didn't know better, I would have thought that a professional had made it. And it's going to store my very delicate solar filter nice and safe and secure. I think I could drop a brick on this and it wouldn't do any harm to the filter underneath. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up. If you've got any questions or comments, then please leave them below. And if you haven't already, then please subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Well, the video is officially finished, but I thought you might like to see some of my solar images. So here's just a few for you. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.